Now, when it comes to games, I'm definitely a fan of booping snouts with friends. Don't you dare take that out of context. I mean in terms of gameplay. Cutting tails, smashing toes, breaking legs, wielding huge feckin' weapons. And if you are as well, then now would be the perfect time for you to jump into Dauntless, or jump back into it if you've played it before in the past. Falcha and welcome on in. Like I said, this is Dauntless. I haven't covered it in about a year, but it has come a long way since I last checked it out. In fact, a long way. It definitely feels like much more of a complete product. And over the last weekend, I spent quite a bit of time checking out its latest update, and it is very impressive. Of course, Dauntless, if you didn't know, is a free-to-play monster hunter game or behemoth hunting game. So like I said, if you enjoy booping snouts with friends, then this will be the game for you. Now, the last time I played Dauntless, it was pretty early on in its development. It only had a handful of behemoths and types of those as well. And it only had 5 weapon types: the axe, the sword, the hammer, the warpike, and of course the chain blades, with different variations of each of those depending on which monster you built them off. But now it also has a proper ranged class in a set of pistols, the repeaters, and these pistols you can switch parts in and out of depending on, I guess, what stats you want or what perks you want to run with them. Now, the roster for behemoths or monsters has increased by a lot as well, while also giving you versions of those behemoths that are much harder to kill in the Maelstrom. So the dire behemoths or the heroic dire behemoths, which will give you that little bit of a challenge or that extra challenge if you want to aim towards that higher tier of gear, or if you're already geared and you just want to pat yourself on the back. Now, the latest update, the Path of the Slayer update, changes even more to Dauntless, while also adding some really nice quality of life changes. Reputation factions in Dauntless are gone, they're being done away with, and they're being replaced with a new mastery system that will give players challenges and rewards for each one that you complete. Rewards like a title for your Slayer, or mods for your weapons, weapon specials, and so on. Now, the new weapon specials will give your weapons new types of attacks once your weapon is charged up. Like when I was using the Rift Stalker's sword, it was able to send out shadowy waves while also giving me the ability to dash away or into the behemoth's range. Now, completing these challenges will also increase your hunter's total mastery level, while also increasing the mastery level of each type of item as well. While I was playing it, some of the higher tiered weapons couldn't be upgraded without having the higher tiered mastery for that item, like needing mastery 12 with swords in order to upgrade your weapon to the next level. So you're going to need to complete those challenges. Now, there are weapon masteries for each weapon type, with challenges like dealing 100,000 damage with an axe or breaking behemoth parts with a hammer. There's also behemoth masteries like killing Boreas in under 3 minutes, or deal 5 million damage in total to Boreas, not in one fight but over the course of all of the fights that you go up against him. So you get the idea of what the mastery is going to be like. But the update has way more than just the mastery, but the mastery is a really nice addition. If this was a Warframe update, the Path of the Slayer update, it would be a 2.0, if you get my meaning. Dauntless now has a better hunt map and menu that will show you the difficulty level of each of those hunts, so as you don't accidentally jump into the wrong one. Better new player experience with tutorial pop-ups and hints to better help you understand how everything works, so that's going to be really nice for new players who feel maybe a little bit lost. There's a new questing system that new players and veterans are going to get to take part in once this update goes live. New patrols, a much better progression system that now combines the normal and dire behemoth weapons and armor into one path, whereas in the past you had to build armor separate to each of them. So if you had a normal behemoth, you would have to craft a weapon and armor for it, and then once you progress to the dire one, you would have to go down a separate tree to craft the weapons and armor for it. But now, if you're done killing, say, a Drask for example, and you've crafted all of his weapons and armor, and then you want to move on to the dire version of Drask, you won't have to craft a separate set of dire weapons or armor. You can just upgrade the normal ones into the dire version with, of course, dire materials or whatever else you need to upgrade that, and of course it's going to give you a lot less inventory clutter. Now, they've also removed the need for certain behemoth parts for upgrading those weapons and armour, and replace them with new elemental orbs or arkstones, which you apparently are going to get as rewards from the new elemental patrols or killing certain dire or heroic dire behemoths. Now, I'm not sure if this will increase or reduce the grind, I guess we'll know soon enough, but so far from what I've seen from this update, there is a lot of content being added, and content that's going to keep players playing for quite a while, so it's not going to be like it was in the past where you would basically blitz through everything and be left with nothing to do. The mastery alone is going to give you lots of challenges and rewards for you to aim towards. Now, another change that may not seem like a huge change, but it's definitely, in terms of quality of life, really welcome. Of course, the end screen for each hunt has now been greatly revamped to show pretty much everything you've earned and need, whereas before it just showed you your hunter rank and gave you that pat on the back if you were the best, or a slap in the face if you absolutely sucked. Whereas now there's a lot of details in terms of mastery and items gained as well. Now, something I haven't really touched on in this video, but I will in future videos, is the design of some of the latest behemoths, and I think the fights, the actual mechanics of the fights, are bloody incredible. They're really well designed, much better than I guess the original 4 or 5 behemoths that we had, but these new ones are quite challenging, hit quite hard, and more importantly are a lot of fun to jump in and try out. Now, like I said, I will be making Dauntless videos over the next few weeks or months, sandwiched in between the Warframe ones. Do me a huge favour, check Dauntless out. Like I said, it is 100% free to play. It is about to be put onto consoles as well, I think in the next few months, so make sure and keep your eyes open for that if you play on PlayStation, Xbox, and I think Switch as well. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Dauntless, and as always, thanks very much for watching.